Hey, welcome. We are on Thursday, the fourth day of my live talks, and I'm excited that you're all here. I got here again 2 minutes early just to make sure I got on time. And guess what? Today, computer worked, the clicker worked, everything worked. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. We have to be really grateful for the simple, easy things. Today I went for a walk with my dogs, and this beautiful heron flew in, all right in front of me, and then landed like 10 yards in front of me. And I thought to myself, life is good. That's what my shirt says today. Life is good. Every day I have these different t-shirts. I thought I'd share them with you all. So I want to just share the lighter side of life while people are getting on. My friend Mark, he sent out on Facebook, I thought was funny. It said Finland had just closed its borders. That's not funny, but Finland had just closed its borders. No one is allowed to cross the finish line. Now, that's funny. Hey, Wendell, I'm glad you're here. Now, I also have to say something else hey, Nancy, for the lighter side, I want to share. My friend Kelly told me on Facebook, get ready for this. Our gas in Southern California is $2.99. I know to some people that's not a big deal, but to us, it's huge. My brother who lives in Virginia, when it reaches $1.99, he takes pictures and he sends it to me, and he's like, gas is free. We don't get that because here often it's $4. So $2.99 is incredible. So that's a little bit of the lighter side of life. I also saw something else let me show you this other one. My friend Greg, he wrote to me, under the right circumstance, any paper is toilet paper. Isn't that the truth? Who here's ever been camping? And you just, whatever you got, you use. So that's the little bit of the lighter side of life. So we're going to start today. And I want to start off with talking about, well, I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about. Why are people hoarding toilet paper, freaking about food, and how can we be mindful? That's where we're going to go today. But today I want to tell you first about the book I chose to share with you. It's called 5 Good Minutes. Let's have you take a look at it. 5 Good Minutes. It's a very small, simple book. 100 morning practices to help you stay calm and focus on a long day. It's by Jeffrey Brantley and Wendy Mileston. This book is so cute. It is so simple. It has the easiest 100 little tips. And you know what you can do? This is the kind of stuff you can order, get it used on Amazon, and send it to a friend. If you're coming and watching me speak, you're probably very mindful anyway. And what you're doing is you're practicing being mindful. But there's a lot of people who don't want to come and look on the internet, and they don't want to do anything like that. That to them is just out of their box or out of their wheelhouse. So especially if you have someone who's older who is maybe in a nursing home, send them this book. This is a good one. I want you to share with you what the first is. Wish yourself safety. This is the number one, and it really is number one. The feeling of safety is priceless and often elusive. Even the possibility of safety may at times feel unreachable. That's how it starts. That's kind of where we're right now. We've got to have this understanding of being safe inside ourselves. I understand there's like this tidal wave or this monster, this virus outside of us, and that gets us really upset. And it activates, remember, our amygdala. And our amygdala is that fight, flight, freeze response that we've been talking about. But when we're in that mode, we don't make those clear choices. And this is where we're going to be talking about, why are we having these weird relationships with toilet paper and food? Where is that coming from? So we want to be able to have safety. Now, yesterday, our homework was that everyone in the morning is going to take our 3 breaths. Did some people out there take their 3 breaths? You breathe in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, and then out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you have that longer out, what it does is it activates your parasympathetic nervous system. And that allows you to get out of that fight, flight, freeze mode so you can get to the higher level of thinking. Hopefully people are doing that, but what you're doing in that breath is you're creating safety. And we want to feel safe. We have the ability to bring down our own blood pressure. I want you guys to understand this. You and me have the ability to bring down your own blood pressure, to lower your heart rate, to ease up your digestion, to untense those shoulders. Or maybe some people are getting some headaches that come up and go through like this. That's because they're watching TV and they're like all tight while they're listening. You got to take that breath and then relax the shoulders. And then one more, once we're inside so much, make sure everybody is doing some stretching. You got to get those muscles, sacred and relaxed and down. These are things you're responsible for. You're responsible for your own breath. You're responsible for your own stretching. And it's so easy just to do. So we want to create safety. One thing I like to do is put a mantra with when I do my morning breath. So I like to say, breathe in safety, hold peace, and exhale tension, worry, and stress. So let's try this one time together. Breathe in safety. Breathing in safety. I'm holding peace. Hold there. And now release. That's you're releasing your tension, your stress. Release your shoulders. Unlock your jaw. When you release that breath, release it out of your body, your jaw and your shoulders. And also for me, between my eyes, can I do that? If I can release this part of my face, because that's where I hold my stress, then my whole body starts to relax. Relax. Okay, so here's another tip. Remember, do your 5 good minutes every morning. All right, let's get down to mindful eating. What is going on here? I went to Trader Joe's a couple days ago. There was nothing left. Everything was gone. Everything was gone. I mean, I ended up getting like a juice that I don't even like. And I actually got some pizza crust made out of broccoli. No one wanted it, except for I actually liked it. So I was happy to have it. So that everyone's this panic and the toilet paper and everything like that is going away. I have toilet paper. Don't be jealous. I do. I have toilet paper. But for some reason, toilet paper right now is more powerful than money. Why is that? Why is that happening? So let's really think about it. 40,000 years ago, we had the same kind of brain, our ancestors did. And they were hunter and gatherers. So they had to go out and hunt for what they needed and gather it and hoard it. And the people that had food and had a shelter, back then they would have had their own kind of toilet paper, had it in their caves, had it in their house, had it on their back, wherever they were the survivors. They're the ones who actually made it through the winter. What are squirrels doing, in the fall? They're hoarding, they're gathering, they're getting all the nuts and they're storing it away. It's programmed in us to want to be able to survive. This is not something that's just happening to Lindsay Leimbach, me, or to Barbara, or to Kevin, to Wendell, all the people that are watching today, people that I know have seen in Italy, in Spain, in England, and in China. This reaction is happening everywhere. We want to be safe. In our DNA, it's been programmed. The cavemen wanted it. So whoever had the most and could protect the most made it through the harsh winter, survived, and then reproduced. The ones that gave it all away or didn't know how to do it, they didn't get to reproduce. So they're out of here. So our ancestors, my great, 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 great grandparents, they were great hoarders. They were great hunters. They were great gatherers. They lived right there. They needed to have that stuff. I have that DNA in me, and so do you. So in this circumstance, what happens is when we get into the amygdala gets activated, our fear gets activated, right? So we end up going into our old primitive ways of knowing. That's down deep, the survival. I'm going to survive. And in the United States, if I am going to survive and I think I'm going to be tracked, I want toilet paper. I don't want acorns. I want to put food in my freezer, cans on my shelf, and toilet paper in my bathrooms and in my closets. It's kind of that old caveman instinct, and that's what's happened. You can kind of see people's eyes get really wide. They're very fixated. They're a little aggressive. They're kind of marking their territory with their carts, going on. They're bringing out that primitive side of ourselves. And I know that's not where we want to be, but I don't want anyone to think that the people or judge other people or even judge yourself if you've gone there. It's just the fight, flight, caveman instinct that's coming out. Now, what's so important and so wonderful is we know we're not cavemen anymore. I'm going to make it through the winter. I'm going to make it through the winter. See, in our society, especially in the United States society, capitalism rules money, right? So a lot of times what people want to do is hoard money, right? When this whole thing isn't going on, what are people doing? They're trying to collect more money because money is power. Caveman, food, nuts, shelter, clothing, furs, things like that. That was the power. Then in our society, it's money. Money shows the power, the bling, the ability to go and have the survival level that you want to have. But right now, what has really shifted is we're not doing capitalism. Everything is shut down. Our money has disappeared in many ways. And if I have a lot of $1 bills, I could say I have a lot of toilet paper, because $1 bills isn't going to buy me toilet paper and food if I'm trapped in my house. So people's thinking about money is shifting away in a survival mode into toilet paper and food. You see where I'm going with this? We all have that hoarding. What are we hoarding? Clothes, red sweaters from Nordstrom's, more shoes. See, that's the old hoarding. It's now shifted into toilet paper and pasta. It's who we are. So what we get to do is have some insight on ourselves. We don't have to live like cavemen. We have internal power. We can come by taking that breath that I was just talking about, that conscious breath, and breathing in safety, holding in peace, and then releasing that worry and anxiety. What that does is takes you out of the old caveman way, that fear way that you have to have more, that has to be yours, that you have to dominate, into compassion and caring. This is the shift we're doing. And this is the shift we have to practice with toilet paper and food. When I went to Trader Joe's just 2 days ago, it was completely calm. It was like everyone calmed down a little bit, and we all had to wait in line. They only let like 25 people in the store at a time, so we have our distance between each other. No one bumped. Everyone could share. No one was hoarding. And when I went up to the cash register, the cash register gentleman looked at me and he said, I don't know why people are hoarding. There's no food chain problem. There's no food chain problem. We're going to have food. And I thought, Well, I think people know that, but I also realized one reason why people aren't hoarding because they're afraid that the food is not going to be in the stores. They want to make sure that they have all the food in the house because they don't want to leave the house. It's just that maybe they can't get to the store. They don't want to go and expose themselves to the virus, or they don't want to end up going and expose themselves and bringing it back to their children. So it wasn't that people were scared that there wasn't food. They were scared that they weren't going to be able to access to get the food. At least I think that that's a big part of it too. You know, people just don't want to feel trapped and out of control. And so when people don't have any money, they feel like trapped and out of control, like the world is going to take them along. But in this circumstance, if they don't have any food in their house, they're feeling trapped and out of control. So if they know they have toilet paper, and if they know that they can make pasta and they can feed their kids, and if their neighbor needs food, that they have it. They have control to at least be safe in their own home. So this is once again where we need to breathe in and not judge other people. Even me, I got wrapped up in that. I was like, oh my gosh, I need more. So then what happened, I want to tell you. I mean, aren't we all acting a little weird about all this? We all need to have a lot of food. I want to show you something. This is a candy bar. It's like a Kind bar. It's a Trader Joe's one. It's like a healthy candy bar, you know, where the ones where you don't feel so guilty that you're eating it. It's yummy. Anyway, we had a box of them, and I heard my husband get up in the middle of the night and go in the kitchen, and I know what he was doing. He was eating our candy bars in the middle of the night. Doesn't he know we're on rations? He's eating my candy bar. Now, in the old days, he's done this all the time. He gets up in the middle of the night and eats candy bars when I'm not looking. Oh, well, I don't care. The man's in his 60s. He can do whatever he wants. But what happened was this time I thought to myself, we only have 2 boxes. What is he doing? He's eating the candy bars. I had a whole different reaction when I heard that. Last night, I heard on the news that China is having a huge spike in divorces. You remember about 2 days ago, I told you my hairdresser who's from South Korea, she said that her family told her that everyone's getting divorced. And then yesterday, I heard the Chinese were having the same problem. And then last night, I heard my husband eating a candy bar, and I said, I know why. Because someone ate the last candy bar or Oreos cookies in the middle of the night. Life is getting a little different. Now, what's this about mindful eating that I'm talking about? Mindful eating is being aware. Mindfulness is being aware in the present moment and being aware of what you're thinking. It's not that you're upset that you had the thought, it's that you want to be aware. So when I heard that and I got that reaction, this awareness came up to myself saying, you know what, Lindsay, it's okay if he wants to eat the candy bar. I was going into my caveman mode. I was the one going into caveman mode. He wasn't. He was doing what he always does. This is where we go into remembering yesterday in our class, snack. Stop, notice. So I stopped. I noticed that I was getting upset that he was eating the candy bar. Accept that he's eating it. It's okay. I love the man. He can eat his candy bar. Be curious, how can I do something different so we can set it up so I don't get triggered? I don't get triggered. It's not about him, it's about me. And then be with kindness, act in kindness, snack. This is what we're going to have to do with our food. So let's take this one step further. When we take that breath, when we stop and we are taming Amy, Now we have to think about how does food and how are we reacting to food in this environment? What is our relationship with food? Because what's going to happen is that we are going to want to go into our comfort food. So we really have two choices to happen in this time. You can choose to eat and gain weight while we're all on lockdown, or we can choose and eat unhealthy, or we can choose to eat healthy and actually practice to become a better, healthy body, mind, and soul spirit. It's a choice. It's a choice. So tomorrow, I teach mindful eating all the time. And tomorrow, I'm going to do the second half of mindful eating. So today, we understand that when we go into that reaction mode, why we're hoarding our toilet paper and hoarding our food, that is old caveman thinking. Old caveman thinking also thinks that we should get fat so we can make it through the winter. We got an extra layer of fat going on. When you're really tired and you're stressed out, you want to eat carbohydrates. It's in your DNA. So you start wanting to have chips and popcorn and candy. So when you start feeling that, that's the caveman DNA inside of you coming out. Don't judge it as wrong. Just be really aware that that's what's kicking in. And then take that breath, that inner safety. Calm yourself down. Be curious, what can you do? Are you choosing to gain weight and live the caveman rules during this time? Or are we going to learn how to practice and grow with patience and learn how to be more mindful and then be healthier with our body, our mind, and our soul, our spirit? So this is our 20 minutes. Tomorrow we're going to actually do a mindfulness practice and learn how to mindfully eat and use it in a meditation to activate our higher consciousness in here and practice focus and attention. So I look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much. And just remember, we all have the caveman inside of us. It's not a bad thing. Don't judge it as bad. Just be aware of it and know you also have your higher self, your authentic self, and you get to choose to go to compassion and kindness by opening your heart, not judging yourself and not judging others. See you tomorrow. Thanks so much.